Hello guys, welcome to Season 5 on Eclipse Racing League, the first one to be held in the latest entry of the franchise, F124. So as you can see on the title, this video will not be a track guide per se. It will be a video on some general aspects of the game and of the gameplay too, to help you get started with this one, which has been somehow heavily criticized or praised, depending on your position, mainly because of the handling. But it's a new game, some new features, and this is exactly what this video is for, to help you get acquainted with those new features. Okay, so we're gonna go on a small Grand Prix session on Miami, where I will try to show you basically what has changed and how you can make the best of what has changed. So let us take the custom car. James Hunt, okay, lots of smoking and drinking in the garage, I believe. It sounds good, so here we go. Okay, AI 110, we'll put it on the usual setting for the league races, which is long, which means 50% of the distance, so we can check out tire wear too. Oops. Alright, let's go. So, first of all, setups.
We're going to struggle for a good position in this race unless we can gain some early positions. See what you can do.
Setup has changed a bit, but not that much from the previous game. However, there are some new things to set up, and some of the old things have changed a bit. So, as per aerodynamics, this will be the usual. If you want to be competitive, it's best that you place more front wing aero so your car can have a sharper turning ability. If you want to play for stability, you should do the other way around. You'll focus on giving it more rear wing aero. And as always, the minimal values you have, the higher will your straight line speed be, but the more you will struggle on your corners. Let's go something like this. Transmission has changed a lot. So as you can see, there's a new setting this year. This on throttle, off throttle usually would be around something like this, not too shabby away from 50, 55, 50. On the previous game, you could set from 50 to 100, I believe, one by one, but now it's from 10 to 100 and every other 5. This one has changed, so I've seen that the on throttle is placed on higher amounts and the off throttle on lower amounts. This is, in my perspective, to focus on corner exits, which have become crucial than ever in this game. When you nail a corner exit, you will feel the advantage. This new setting, engine braking, so From what I could understand, this is related on how your car behaves when you are coasting. So, coasting is going to become also a very important technique in this game, and engine braking basically will be a trade-off. So, if you put it to max, the car will brake, will slow down much harsher, and you will regain more ERS. If you decrease the value, it's the other way around. The car will not slow down as fast, but your energy recovery will be less than the other mode. This one is all about personal preference, but I believe you're going to see lots of 100%, and this is usually what I use too, and it helps a lot on recovering ERS. Suspension geometry has changed, not on the configs, but on the meta. You remember the right, right, left, left for all tracks, now it's left, 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 left. Suspension. This one has kept somehow the principle of the other game. Stiffer on the front, softer on the rear. The anti-roll bars, however, have changed. It seems that you take more advantage on going firmer on both settings, front and rear. This one, as usual, this one changed on the values that you can input, but it's the same principle. You're going to increase the rear ride height to provide more stability on corner exits. In the sorry, on the values, yes, it's higher, but on the bar it seems lower. Brakes. After the patch, brakes have become once again similar to F123. So you're gonna go 100% all around, and this will usually be around 55 to 57, which you can flick mid session to your pleasing. Tires have changed too, so this year seems it's the other way around. More pressure will equal less temperature. Once again, there is an ongoing meta on these, which is max for all tires, but at least on Q, I think you will suffer if you go with this. You'll suffer a lot to heat up the tires. Heating up the tires is hard on this game. Okay, so as per race strategies, I have tried some tracks, and from what I notice, fuel looks like it's much balanced with your energy management ability. If you do pretty good ERS management, seems that fuel will also gain from this. So the better you manage your ERS, the less fuel you can carry on to the race. As per the tires, hard tire has a very long lifespan, but more than ever, at least for me, you can feel the difference in pace. So for those people who like to start their races on the hard tire, do the first stint on the hard tire, you may probably notice some difficulties in keeping up with the pack. As per the soft tire, it has become useful on some tracks, and as the hard tire, you can actually feel a lot the grip gain. Okay, so let us begin our session where I will try to basically show you what has changed from one game to another. Whoa. Okay, let's give them a little space. So, for me, what has changed a lot is that you can feel the different stages of the corner in a much more intuitive way. So, before you kind of only had two stages. You brake for the on the F123. You brake for the corner. You hit the apex, and you immediately think about going to get back in the throttle. For this one, I think we can focus on the third stage, which is coasting. So, from what I noticed on this game, coasting through the corner will bring several advantages. First, you will feel the grip transitioning to your steering. When you release the braking pedal, you will notice that your steering wheel and your inputs of the steering wheel become much more responsive. And this is something you can take into account. While on that coasting stage, you are also benefiting from regaining ERS and fuel saving. Also, at least for me, it looks like a more effective way to traverse through the corner because you can actually feel the tires bite on the ground. As per corner exits, so it's nothing different from the other from the other installments. Your focus must be returning on the throttle as quickly as you can. After the patch, you cannot return as easily as you did in the first version of the game. Some people have been resenting that, so they got used to the first handling model and the first gameplay, and now after the patch they are struggling a bit because it's no longer that easy. Some people mentioned it was easier. It's no longer that easier to return to the throttle. Curbs. Curbs somehow are a little more traversable this year, but there's that fine line where if you push it too much, you will spin. But remember your racing lines from the previous game and try to learn how much curb you can take on each point of the track. I will take this lap to the that very slow clunky section because there's something I want to show you about ERS.
Alright, let's focus now for the rest of the race.
Okay, my biggest tip for you for this game would be determine shortcuts on your steering wheels for ERS modes because you will need to manage every mode. As you probably know, you have four it's it's four modes, but let's call it three modes and a button. You have none, you have medium, you have outlap, and you have the overtake button. So when you reach a slow, clunky section like this one, you will notice that if you are following a car and you have no chance to overtake, it's a good chance, for example, to drop the ERS modes to none, and you will see how much energy you will harvest. I will ask you to pay attention to the battery charge before hitting this braking zone and the battery charge after the last corner before the final DRS zone and see the amounts. I will, on this braking zone, I will change the ERS mode to none. I will traverse all that section in none, and you will see how much you can gain from it. So I believe that you saw that you gain around 30 points of ERS battery, and this one will probably make a lot of the difference on this year's game. This ability to tactically harvest and deploy your ERS. Don't forget that when you go with none, your corner exits will be very poor because you're not deploying a lot of power. So it's best to try to change it to medium right before the corner exit, which sometimes mean that you will probably change in ERS modes mid-corner. That is why I advise you, for those of you who use a steering wheel, to map if it's a steering wheel with one of those small dials, it's very useful to map one of those dials to ERS modes. Changing them through the MFD is also possible, but I think that it will somehow get in the way during your racing. Okay, so this is pretty much it. As you know, you will get track guides for each round. These track guides will also be done in a different way this year. I will not do them in time trial because I think time trial this year, what you do in time trial is very hard to translate into the racing sessions, at least without damaging your tires, and also because of the perfect conditions set for time trial where you always have optimal temps and grip will not happen on a GP session, and this time you will notice that difference much more than before. Okay, so let us complete lap 2. So in order for you to see a little bit of how all things are dealt during the lap. One more tip regarding ERS. ERS also recharges when you are full throttle on the medium settings. A little bit, but recharges. So what you can do is use small bursts on your overtake button. For example, let's say battery is going around 25. It starts gaining 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. On 30, you activate the overtake button, let it drop once again to 25 and let it regain, and do this on long straights. This is actually useful. Do not forget also that your ERS can be used for defense. So if you are going to be attacked you can counter it using the overtake button. And one more tip, sorry, things keep coming. Hard braking zones, you can take a lot of advantage from dropping to none on hard braking zones. You will harvest plenty of energy if you do a hard braking zone on the none setting. Just be aware that your corner exit, if you keep it on none, will be poor. Oh, sorry.
We're at the back, but give it 100% and we can still come away with a decent result. I believe in you, come on.
I went to hot lap and it made me spin.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
Okay, so have a great season. Don't forget, you can always ask whatever you want on the comment section, or for those of you who are in ERL on the Discord. And I hope this helps you to have the best possible season you can. Cheers!